You know, it's getting harder and harder for me to get around. But I only have to go about 15 feet to see this. It's always special. It just never gets old. That's Cecil. Tank. Oliver. You have Bernie in the back there. And then there's 6 females there. And these are the 3 new females here. These are the ones that came from Spain. And one of them laid eggs last year. So I think I'm gonna have a good year this year with these Aldabras. And there's three more females in the back. Of course, this is Adolf. He's like an icon on the farm. You know, it's not so much his shell and, you know, I mean, I guess he has a story, 105 years old. The thing is, he's such a personality. When you come to meet him, that's really the thing that captures you. You know, everybody that's come to see him says the same thing. There's just something special about him. He'll sit there and he'll look at you and he'll interact with you. I mean, he's all about the food. But once that's over, he just sits down with you like this guy here. Right? He'll just sit down. He sits down because you're there and he looks at you. And there's some interaction that goes on there that's just really special. I don't know why my shoulder does that. When I try to pan, there'll be like a click in my shoulder. See, there it is. And there it is again. That's just trying to pan. Wow. There's probably an orthopedist out there, I'm sure, and knows exactly what that is. Can't see him, but around the side here is where the, oh no, we don't, that's all of the male Hetfer ivories. And we have some Andrews over here. All of these elongateds are over here. Over 20 of them in there. And then the iguana case, see the greenhouses where we raise the babies. No longer any green iguanas here. So, you know, it's kind of sad you're going there because you know, they're just empty cages stacked up in there. But, you know, we're turning it around. We're rebuilding. I really should get out there and walk. Oops. I'm going out, guys. Okay, so where were we? Oh, quiet. Oh, it's too much in the morning. Why did I let them out? What's going on, Bernie? Elizabeth over here. That's the one I raised from a hatchling. It's about 35 now. And this is Elizabeth here. Come on, Elizabeth. I gotta see your face. There you are. So she's 104. That's the one that was hanging in the meat market in Ecuador being sold as food. I don't mean hanging by the neck. I guess I've said that before, but I guess she was on some kind of a scale or something. I don't know exactly what she was on, but in there, in the meat market, hanging is the way the story was handed down to me, and ready for slaughter. And some tourists bought her and brought her back to the States when such things were allowed to actually happen. So, yeah, we worked a little bit on converting the greenhouse. It's quiet. Once the dogs settle down, it's quiet. Oh, they've been ripping it apart. Yeah. It's amazing how things change. Anyway, we wanted to make a better environment here for the tortoises, raising the baby tortoises outside. And of course, the problem is you got to be cognizant of rats. And that's why these cages, well, to get that fixed, these cages have to be modified a little bit. I see you, buddy. Ow. Oh, I couldn't use the phone. Oh boy, what are you doing? Oh. That's why I'm gonna wait till these guys come in. Mario's coming in today. Sometime. Nah, he's been getting better, really. Oh, we have over here. These are some of the bananas here. These are the pieds. Some orange pieds. And then the other cages are empty. Well, it's a rebuilding process. Moving things around. Have more room, make better cages for less animals. See, that stuff just kind of drives me crazy because that's a scanner and it shouldn't be just laying out here in the greenhouse. The little greenhouse, as we call it, just put a fogger system in there we're working on. Fogging is really the way to go. Misting is too wet. And it all has to do with the pressure and the size of the droplet that comes out. So when you're fogging, you're lowering the temperature, you're increasing the humidity, and making a nicer environment when it's really hot outside. So using drip lines and soaker hoses and sprinklers, misters of one kind or another is not always the answer. It's the back of row A. Here's Mucky. What's going on, Mucky? What are you guys doing? When the sun comes out, these guys are real blue. What are you doing, you tricky little thing, you? Huh? I see you. Yeah. This is the morning. It's Amazon basin yellowfoot. This is what it looks like in the morning, all messed up. Because the guys aren't here to service the pens and put down new hay and rake the old hay out. It's always frustrating for me to see it, but this is, that's Humphrey, if you recognize Humphrey. And that's Humphrey's wife. What's up, guys?
Hi, you are currently being recorded.
Thank you. Yeah, getting real hot. Getting real hot, real sunny, real bright out on the farm. Just like every year. These are the holdbacks. I did a video on these not too long ago where I went through each animal. Thought I would be selling a couple. Needed to get some room, wanted to get some money. So hard for me to let those guys go. Must be something wrong with me. Something wrong in my head. That's how this whole thing started. I don't, the red feet. Bolivians. Look how big they are. And that's not even the big ones out. Oh, there, he's back there. Yes, we hear you. Crazy. So many years walking this property. Now it's just hard to walk the property. All that work is, the physical work is left to someone else. You know, and a lot of that involves working with the animals. But, you know, it's like the Desiderata says, right? You have to give willingly, is it, to the change of time? Give gracefully to the passing of time. What's up, buddy, huh? That's what you're asking me, huh? Away. Okay, let me see if I can. Hey. Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah, look at that. Tensing up. Gets that foot off the ground. Hey, what's up, buddy? I love you. Huh? He's 105 years old. Adolf. Adolph. Not like the idiot, which spells it differently. Besides, I say he had the name before that asshole. It's unfortunate. I keep thinking about changing it. A stage name, maybe I'll call it. What do you folks think? What about a stage name for Adolf? A couple of times I introduced him as the professor. Let's go see what's going on in this room. Okay. The Aldabra room, for your folks that don't recognize it. It's where we keep the youngest animals. And it's gone through a couple of, at least three progressions in design. We did it with sod in the beginning. Then we did it for hay for a while. I gotta sit down. and we came up this way. A couple of folks didn't really like this because they call it an unnatural environment. So I really got into it with them. One of those aggravating things you go through dealing with people. You're right. I mean, I know it's not natural. I wasn't aiming for natural. I was aiming for something that my people could take care of to ensure the health of the animals, because they don't stay long in this pen. This is a short time stay, and I need to be able to monitor their health. That's the reason they have numbers on the back like that. And we track their weight. We make sure they're eating. We don't sell animals which are behind what we call a weight curve, which they're either not gaining the weight that they're supposed to. So, you know, we correct all of those situations. There's always just a matter of dealing. It's not really an illness. It's a not being able to adapt well. And so you have to change their environments around, and it makes all the difference in the world about how they do, how you separate them into different groups. So anyway, and we chlorine and vacuum this rug. So this is, you know, here it is in the morning, it's a mess. And, you know, if there was hay in here, or this was dirt, or this was sod, you know, there'd be a lot of contamination in that soil. And you can rake the hay up and everything, but there's still contamination in the soil. And you can keep it really clean. I think that works well in a much more sunny type of outdoor cage where the sun can really hit that hay, because that's what kills the bacteria. This is sunny too. This is all, yeah, I got to get those leaves off of there. So yeah, I'll look at that and no one will ever see that. Too many leaves there. It's cutting my sun down. You gotta have 50% shade, 50% sun. That's what this pen is designed already to do. So that's a rule, and unfortunately, it's one of the top 3 reasons people lose their Aldabras. I wrote an article about that, which was called, I want to see if I can get to a better perspective. You folks will probably hate me for this boring view. So anyway, maybe I'll just head outside. Well, unfortunately, I don't remember what I was saying. Oh, I keep that room because I can disinfect things and I can track their weight for the amount of time that they're here. And that's why it's like that. It's reliable. It doesn't matter who comes in and does it. They follow the protocol and the room gets done. That's important when you have an organization and you're adding people to your organization. Those people need to be able to follow directions, instructions. So that's what that room gives me. That's why I do it that way. You see, now they moved around a little bit. See, it's later now. He's mounting one of those girls from Spain. Bernie hasn't moved. What's up, Tank? No missing you, Cecil. You know, I have a couple of names for these girls. This is the one that laid. I have a couple of names for these girls, but I can't remember them. I always have so many animals with numbers. These Aldabras all had numbers at one time. Yeah, probably a lot of people don't know that. Number 1 was Bernie. Sometimes you could still see a faint. You got to put his name up there. That was a Mario idea. I'm not exactly sure why, but I got to get him to get it off. And Bernie was number 1. Oliver was number 2. Tank here was number 3. Number 4 was a male Aldabra I had called Bronco. Number 5 was a tortoise I called Eyes because he had the prettiest eyes. And I had all males. And I needed to make decisions. So I sold him to a zoo up in, where the hell were they? So I sold him to a zoo. And it benefited the farm. It's a hard loss for the soul, but it benefited the farm. The animal, the things I was able to provide. And that's the way it is, you know, when you get older, what are you going to do with all these animals? You have to have that plan. So, you know, another thing I think of, folks, I don't know if I should be, you know, filming this like my buddy Kenan, where, you know, you always see his face there. I just think that my face is going to be boring after a while. You folks will let me know. Would you have rathered the video? Or would you have rathered me doing in selfie style? I guess I could get more proficient at doing it in selfie. That's probably the case. I'm just not comfortable with it. In any case, yeah, there's been a lot of challenges. Just challenges even keeping the animals over the years. You know, this is something I'm doing a long, long time. Since '84 here. And so, you know, I had businesses. I was always a technical guy. I was in satellite. I was in TV. I built transmitters. I did security camera systems, giant satellite dishes, 20, 30-foot commercial. Built satellite dishes in Saudi Arabia. Went there during the war there to provide satellite dishes for the military. I was in Saudi, built TV stations in Bolivia. Interesting, all electronics related somehow. And then I had this going for me here in the backyard. And I just kept building it and adding cages. And if something died, I bought 2 more because I had to have it. Yeah, there are probably a lot of people that would frown on that statement, but I don't know. When you're going through it, that's, I guess, the reality of it. But it was a passion. It's what drives you. It's what makes you alive. You know, if I didn't do this, I don't know if I would have been alive. What else was I doing? Well, that's not true. You know, we took a lot of family vacations. So we did a lot of things. We had a good life. And I put all of my investment here was with these animals. So funny thing, you know, as things turn out, you know, I didn't get a 401k. I had it, spent it, you know, trying to save other businesses or whatever, everything that everybody goes through. Eventually I retire here, and things really go better for me. You know, I guess I work harder. I work harder for less money. But boy, you know, when you're doing it because you love it, I don't know. I don't know that you can weigh that really, you know. I don't put the suit on. I don't put the tie on. I don't drive for 45 minutes in traffic. I don't go to meetings anymore. Always a meeting. You had to have a meeting to go to the bathroom. And we had meetings about bathrooms, how we were dividing them. We built new ones, where we were going to put them, how many boys, how many girls. Jesus, God, I tell you. You know, another meeting. Oh, my God. So, I don't know, you know. This is hard to let go. Just listen for a second. Look at that interaction between those two. Those are 2 males. He just came over. He kind of nudged him under his neck. He's not fighting with him. This isn't aggression. This is, hey, how are you? Just here saying hello. Look at him, look at him. Look at him looking at the other one, Oliver. tank looking at Oliver. You know, you can almost see it. It looks kind of like what you see with the monkeys when they pick the parasites and they groom the other animal and stuff like that. Now, there is no grooming going on here, but, you know, I believe there's a closeness. There's definitely a closeness. There's definitely a reaction to each other. This is the difference between the Galaps and the Aldabras that I have observed, is that you don't see this social behavior in the Galaps. I could never put, I had the males together for a long time, so I had HMS and Adolf together for a long time, and they fought. You know, there's some videos posted about them fighting and stuff like that. You know, that's natural. It was good for their environment, for their breeding and stuff like that. But look at that. Just amazing. You come out, you turn the camera on. Yeah, they want to warm up a little bit more. And the guys will come in another hour or so. First thing, the water bowls. Got to get the water bowls clean. They're there overnight. There's my shoulder. They're there. Those bowls are a source of contamination. So you can see this bowl is from last night. Source of contamination. And that bowl is pretty clean. But it's what I have to look for now. I have to look at that because I have to pass that care on to the people who are running the farm. Yeah, morning gas, I know. It's quiet. It's just quiet. Oops. I gotta put shade cloth up. I haven't. It just came in yesterday. Just getting too hot. I've got to repair this shade cloth. Everything you do, it only lasts so long. That's what those other ugly poles there. See, I see stuff like that. It just irks me. But there was shade cloth on those poles last year. I've got to get some shade cloth over here for the Galaps. Make a bigger shade area underneath their mud hole there. I want to do a big commercial fogger. I have this sprinkler which comes up over here. It's on a 3/4 pipe. That does this whole area. I programmed to come on like at, usually we do it at 5. That's when Mario leaves. So I may do it at 4:35, or it changes as the weather changes, of course. But it does this whole area in here. It does all the way even back there to some of the ivory. Just some days you need it. I mean, some days you don't need it, and that's the problem when you program it. That's why a lot of the sprinklers we do are manual. I don't know why I programmed that one, but I did. So anyway, yeah, a lot of years, a lot of things change. You go from young, you go to old. You see your parents die. You see your kids grow up. They're still here. These guys are bigger than ever. And the daughters are still here. Imagine that, working the farm. The daughter's still here, working the farm. It takes a lot. It takes more than you know, more than you realize. You can get a lot of things built, done. It's a much better job. I see people, my friends today, doing a much better job than I ever did with the initial constructions. Unfortunately, this was all built out of wood at one time. It wasn't built out of aluminum. like it should have been. But I didn't have that option then, and it's expensive to change now. So you stay with what you have because you have so many other problems that you really need to address. So this video is going to be too long for me to edit. I'm not even sure I should edit it. I should just put the two parts together. I forget why I had to separate it, but put two parts together. Oh, because I decided to walk around. Yeah, instead of just stand here. And just let people see what it is that goes through my mind. I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing. Yeah, at least it's an honest thing. That's all I can say. And that was always what was most important to me. Just being transparent. Why is it so hard? Why is it so hard for people? You guys are beautiful. I always mess their ages up because I forget how old they are. I have to every time it's like now I have to think about, well, let's see, when did I get them? So here, this is okay. So this is Oliver, and he's 84. So what is that? 16 and 22. That's 38 years. 38 years. He's 38 years old. I think I keep saying 35 years. And he's a year less. He's 37. And then Cecil there is a year less. Well, that makes him 36. 36, 37, 38. Now you folks can jump on me. And I raised Bernie back there. And Bernie is a year older than Oliver. So Bernie now is 39. Wow, I keep telling people 35. 39. Unbelievable. You hold them like this. You hold them like little hatchlings, little tortoises. And they turn into these monsters. Look at these guys. How can you resist this? I don't understand. You guys are just amazing. Hey, where's the food? Come on, guys. What do you think we're out here for our looks? Adolf, he's going back in to his little shaded area back there. He was up early, he grazes. He's out about 5 hours a day. Started looking at all of that. So typically they only roam around a couple hours in the morning, 3 hours in the afternoon, or vice versa. And they don't stay in the hot sun. They like to hang out under the shade, and that's why I say you gotta have these, when you're setting up your pens, you gotta shoot for 50% shade. The sun is everything, but they have to regulate it. You have to give them the opportunity, the ability to go through different micro areas, microclimates. On their island, it doesn't get that hot. I think it goes from about 79 to 80, 84 degrees in high humidity. So, they're actually a little more cold tolerant than Galapagos Aldabras. The Aldabras will be out in the cool mornings, and they'll come stomping out of their hides, their huts. I have videos of that somewhere also. And you see them, they're ready to go. They'll come out to eat, they'll walk around. They're much more animated in the morning than the Galaps. The Galaps don't get moving as fast as the Aldabras do. They're just not as with it. You could see they're a little, dopey. So, that's just an interesting fact. At one time when we first raised these guys, these Aldabras, I didn't even have heated huts. We just had huts and we packed them with hay. I probably did that for the first 10 years of their life. It's amazing, what you don't know and you learn. But yeah, I only packed them with hay for probably 10 years. Hi, you coming to say hi, guys? Everybody's coming. What's happening? There goes a train the other direction. Cecil, you're photobombing my video here. Oh, she's heading for the shade. You see that? He's heading for the shade. Yep.